Hey y'all, welcome to Lunch at Uncle Jason's. Today I'm going to revisit a recipe that I did, I think it was like my second video. It's going to be my homemade biscuits, and that's one I have gotten request after request for, because if you have my cookbook Lunch at Uncle Jason's, you'll see the front cover is biscuits. Those are actually, I took a picture of a pan of biscuits I had just pulled out of the oven when I cooked them for breakfast at the school. So that's something that I have done for years, y'all, is make homemade biscuits. I started out at a little restaurant here in Opelika, Alabama called Tyler's Restaurant. And I made biscuits there for years. And then I went into the school and I've made homemade biscuits for the kids there, so that's something that is great. It's kind of, in some ways, a dying art, because a lot of people don't make homemade biscuits anymore. A lot do, but then there's a lot that don't. So I would love to see more people get back to that. But that's what we're going to do today. We're going to make some homemade biscuits. So give me a minute. I'm going to get set up and we'll come back and make some. All right, y'all. Have everything out and ready for these biscuits. What I have in my bread bowl here, I have 4 cups of self-rising flour. Now I use White Lily. You use whatever you want to use. That's going to be totally up to you. To that, I have a half a cup of shortening. It's Crisco. Crisco shortening is what I got, which is this right here, just plain old Crisco shortening. Now y'all, I know you'll hear a lot of people say cut this in with 2 forks or a pastry cutter. I never do that. I always just use my hands. That's what I have always used. But you do, whatever you're more comfortable with, that's fine. If you like doing it with a pastry cutter or forks or whatever, 2 knives, however they do that, that's absolutely great. What you're looking for, y'all, is you want to get this shortening incorporated into this flour to where it's going to be crumbly. And that's about where I'm at. It doesn't take long, y'all, and it's only 3 ingredients. And I know people who do the biscuits with the all-purpose flour and the baking powder, baked salt. No, I don't do that. This is just, to me, these are awesome. But do you see how that looks, y'all? See how it's kind of like sand, and it's got like bigger pieces of I'm gonna try to hold it over there to you. It's got some good sized little pieces of shortening still in it. It's not all crumbly. It's still got little big pieces in there. Little big pieces. Did you hear me? But that's all you want right there. Now right here, y'all, this is something I very seldom measure out. So I've measured me out about what I think it's going to be. It's 2 cups, and I think that's what it's going to be. But I'm going to go with a cup. That's a little over a cup, but I'm going to put that in. And see how I'm stirring, guys? I'm stirring with my fingers open. I'm not squishing the dough, because the more you work your dough, the tougher your biscuits are going to be. And I can go ahead and tell you, I'm going to need all the rest of this buttermilk. So that was 2 cups of buttermilk. Yep, I needed every bit of that. I may need a little more. But what I usually do, y'all, I put a little water in here. But I don't think I'm even going to need that today. I think this is great. You see that, y'all? That's the consistency of your dough that you want. It's a thick, wet dough. All of the dry ingredients in the bowl have been incorporated in, and it's wet. All right. I am going to clean off my hands, and I'm going to get flour put down here on my table, and I'm going to get this dough turned out onto the table and I gotta find a clean finger to hit the button with, and I'll be right back. Give me just a second, y'all. Sorry. Alright, y'all, I got all that done. I got my dough turned out here on the table with some flour all over the table. But first, before I started, I want to show y'all my bread bowl. I had some questions asked about this bread bowl. I don't know how I can get it all in there. On Facebook when I used it. This was a Christmas gift from my mama many years ago. It was made by a gentleman in North Carolina named J.P. Madron, and he made this bread bowl for me, for my mama, and had it sent to me. I don't think he makes bowls anymore. He's gotten older now, but yeah, that's where I got my wooden bread bowl from. But let's get back to the biscuits. Now I have floured my table heavy. I like to flour it heavy, and I sprinkle a little flour on top. Okay, this is the part, y'all, where you don't want to overdo it. I kind of pat my dough out like this in a rectangle, and I'll bring it over, pat it down a little more, bring it over again, pat it, bring the sides up like this, and then I just flip it over. Make sure you've got flour under the bottom, because they'll stick on you if you don't. Okay, and here's where I will just start patting it out to the thickness I want of my biscuits. And y'all, I usually do about a 1/2 inch or a little more, but usually about a 1/2 inch thickness. And you can roll this out with a rolling pin. I just always use my hands. And if I'm doing this at school, yes, I use a rolling pin, because at school I got 5 pounds of self-rising flour, a pound of shortening, and a 1/2 gallon of buttermilk, and 1/4 gallon of water. So that's the recipe for the ones at school, and that makes about 100 biscuits. Okay, I'm going to move this now out of the way. Okay, y'all, I got 3 different biscuit cutters. I have this big, huge one right here that's about a little over a 3-inch biscuit. I have the one I always used at school. This is a 2-inch biscuit cutter. And then I have my baby biscuit cutter. So it all depends on what size biscuits you want and how many you need. I'm going to use my mama's, this was my mama's biscuit cutter. Right here, my 2-inch biscuit cutter. Now when you cut biscuits, y'all, I go straight in and I pull straight back out. I don't twist my cutter. If you twist it, your dough's going to twist, and they're not going to rise the way they should. So I don't never twist my cutter. I just go and I get it as close to the edge and as close to each other as you can. So see that biscuit there, I'm going to bring the camera over, I hope, and don't mess up, and show y'all a little better. But do you see how those are side by side? Because that's what you want. You want them side by side so that you're not wasting dough. You want to use up as much dough as you can. So see, straight in, straight out. Keep your cutter floured. Straight in, straight out. Just like that. And you try to get as many as you can without, having a lot of dough left over. Because you can make more biscuits out of this dough that's left over, but those biscuits that you make out of that are not going to be as light and fluffy and tender as these biscuits right here are. Okay, I can't get one out of that. Now what I do I'm going to bring, I just have a sprayed pan. I just lightly sprayed it. I'm going to bring that right here. And I'm just going to walk my fingers under the biscuits and place them. I want to make sure you can see what I'm doing. I place them close together and close to the edge, and I let them touch. I'm going to show you in just a second what I'm talking about. See how I have those touching each other? When they touch, they help each other rise up. So when there's unity, everybody rises. That helps the biscuits to rise up when they're together. Okay, and I'm going to get all of these on here real quick. I used to get at school at 5:30 in the morning and start making biscuits. On biscuit day, I had to make about 300. And it would take me about 45 minutes to get those 300 biscuits knocked out. Okay, after I get all that done, y'all, I'm going to bring all this, I call it scrap dough, back to the middle of the table. And I'm just going to mash it down one time. Just one time like this, and kind of bring the sides over and flip it over. Okay, and then I'm going to pat it back out to about a 1/2 inch thick, just like I had the other. And like I said, these biscuits right here, y'all, are not going to be as pretty as these, because I got 4, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15. I got 15 biscuits just out of that right there, out of the first working. Okay, and these second ones right here, we're going to see how many we can get out of that. Same thing, in and out. In and out. Now, if you want your biscuits taller, you can do them taller. You can make them thicker. You can go up to 1 inch. That'll be fine. It's not going to hurt a thing. Okay, y'all, I could probably get another biscuit or two out of this. But y'all, really, after you've worked it one time and then you've reworked it again, that dough right there ain't good for nothing but dumplings or fried pies or something like that. But I got 20 biscuits out of that 4 cups of flour, a 1/2 cup of Crisco, and 2 cups of buttermilk. 20 biscuits. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put I got my oven preheated to 450 degrees. I'm going to pop these biscuits in and let them cook for probably about 20-25 minutes. I'll let you know for sure how long it takes. And I'll be back and show you what they look like. Give me just a minute. Alright, y'all, these cooked for about right at 20 minutes. And see how nice those look. What I've got right here, y'all, I got about 2.5 tablespoons of butter. And I'm just going to brush each biscuit with this butter. This just adds more flavor and it makes them look great. Because what you want to do is you're looking to just get the dry flour that's left over on them. You're looking to get that off. You don't want to serve your biscuits with them all real floury. We made up a new word. I don't think it's a new word. I've heard other people say it. But that's the word we're using, floury. You don't want all that flour on top of them. You want them to look amazing and presentable. These smell so good, y'all. It's got the whole house smelling good. And I think what I may do with them tonight is make some, because this is supper time. We're doing this for supper. I think I'm going to make some sausage gravy to go over it. You could do tomato gravy, whatever you want. Fry you up some ham and make you some red-eye gravy. That would be great. Okay, y'all, that little over 2 tablespoons of butter did every one of my biscuits. And can y'all see that? Those look great. Okay, now of course, I want to show you these in the back. I'm going to put a couple of these on the plate. Y'all, those don't look pretty. They're uneven. Those were the ones we reworked. Remember the dough at the end we reworked? But these up here, look at those. Those look so good. And y'all, they're so light, they feel like they're going to float off your hand, I'm promising. I could eat two. I'm probably going to eat two, but I'm not going to do that in front of y'all. Okay, I'm going to move this over so I can set my plate down right here. And y'all, what's a biscuit? Look at that. Oh my goodness. What's a biscuit without a little dab of butter? I'm just going to spread a little butter in there. And you know what makes it even better? Some delicious apple butter. You can put your grape jelly on there, your strawberry jelly, whatever you got. I want some apple butter on mine. And y'all know why. Apple butter tastes like fall. And I'm ready for fall. I think it got up right close to 100 degrees here in central Alabama today. And as y'all know, that's not for me. I want to show y'all this before I turn you up and let y'all saw me eat it. Don't that look great, y'all? Oh my goodness. Let me turn you up. Give me just a second. Get y'all turned up. Hi y'all. That looks amazing, y'all. And this biscuit is so tender and fluffy. Y'all, that is as country as it gets. I'm telling you, that is wonderful. I wish I had $1 for every biscuit I've made. I'd be rich. But y'all, that's my biscuit recipe right there. That's how I make them. That's how they are, y'all. And I told y'all about my cookbook that had the picture of my biscuits on it. Lunch at Uncle Jason's. It's, if you go to the link in my bio of this YouTube channel, you can click more and it'll drop down several Pinterest links. You'll see Lunch at Uncle Jason's, and on page 64 it has this recipe in it, this biscuit recipe in there. So Lunch at Uncle Jason's, you'll see a Sleepy Hollow Mary making. Now y'all, this is a tiny book. This is about the legend of Sleepy Hollow, and it has some recipes in it that were mentioned in the book, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, and I say this is Ichabod Crane's last meal. I have another one. It's called A Gathering of Friends. It's the one with the pecan pie on the front. This has some of my recipes, but a lot of my good friends' recipes in it also. This one is a good one. And then I have the very first one I ever wrote, and you can't hardly see the writing on it because I had to change it, but this is The Haywoods Are Home for the Holidays. This has some of my family's recipes in there that they've handed down and we've cooked at holidays and stuff like that. But for those of you who have ordered cookbooks, I appreciate it. I hope you enjoy them. I'm trying to get down where y'all can saw me. You don't have to see my head. I might have a glare, but thank you for everybody that has joined the channel. I appreciate it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad to have y'all here. It means a lot. Had a lot of comments on there. People have shared ideas with me. Y'all, have been amazing. I appreciate that. Don't think I'll get upset if you tell me how you cook your recipe, because I want to know. I love having new ideas and trying new things. But y'all, try you some biscuits. Don't let this art die out. Get back in the function of things and make some homemade biscuits for your family. It's not hard. Y'all see me do it right here. It didn't take nothing. But I love y'all. I want you to be blessed. And come back next time when we have something else. It's going to be good. So y'all come back. Bye-bye.